that we are all about, including what we're putting up right at the top here. Giantbomb has been sold by fandom to the Giantbomb people, who will continue independently.
This is amazing news. I love it.
Yeah.
It is a little bittersweet. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, yes. Because you think about the whole story of Giantbomb, were these guys that were just trying to make a cool website and were trying to escape corporate control, and they got taken over by the very things. So first off, bought by CBSI, the very thing they were trying to escape that started Giantbomb in the first place.
Yes.
And then eventually got sold to fandom, who are creating the worst wikis out there. When Giantbomb, one of the original ideas was, hey, we need wikis. We should do a wiki.
I mean, in between was
Red Ventures.
Red Ventures. Yeah, like they just a series of just terrible fucking owners, really. Just
all people who did not know what they were doing.
Just the absolute goddamn worst. In reality, like, just, Whiskey knew what it was doing, but that was a startup, right? Like, that was a startup. That was its own thing. And then, CBSI, like, didn't understand how money works with this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Red Ventures made that but worse. And then they, got, fandom even worse than that. So it's like,
there are people who didn't understand the space, and so like all the old guard left. They fell to, well, they fell. I mean, they're doing Patreon stuff. They're doing what this eventual thing was. It's just that they are now doing it separately. So
yeah, like I am sure Jeff and Vinny and Brad and Alex are all like super stoked for them, right? Like,
right.
They're like, hell yeah, you did it. Awesome, great. Hope you keep the dream alive. But on the other hand, it's just like, it's like the whole fucking crew that founded it is no longer there.
Right.
And it's a little bittersweet. That said, I do love me some Dan Reichert and Jan Ochoa as well.
Hell
so I'm
yeah.
like, I could go watch some new Giantbomb.
I haven't seen new Giantbomb very much. I as soon as this news came out, I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Let's get in here. What's going on? I have no idea what's happening.
I hear this thing called Blight Club is great.
I hear good things about Blight Club specifically. So, okay.
Yeah. So, that said, I want Dan X, Jan. I want to see what that pairing in an endurance run would be, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe go
and maybe bring back a Mario Party.
I think they've been doing Mario Party parties. I was browsing briefly.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, there you go. Like, they just,
unless that was a whole thing, like it popped up a bar and it's like, on this day in Giantbomb history. But yeah, I think with Dan there, I have to imagine some Mario Party shenanigans have been gotten up to.
I mean, I don't see it on the shows list.
Okay,
but maybe. I don't see it on the current shows list, at least. It could be on the the archived shows list.
Gotcha.
But still,
yeah. So I'm happy for them. I want to kind of see what this new era is like, and I threw some dollars their way just to help them help them be independent. It's not the website that I grew up with and fell in love with, but I'm going to give them a shot now that they're fully independent, and maybe there's this chance to have a better environment than under corporate control.
Yeah, like that's my big things. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to throw them any money yet, just because, already throwing at 2 separate Patreons is, it's already a little tight, but I might go ahead and do that now, though, because, like, they deserve it. They did the thing no one else could do. Seriously.
Well, I think that's what's kind of funny about it is like there is this corporate backlash that I think was the key bit of momentum. But I feel like at any point they could have just said, "Look, y'all, you're not gonna make the money you think you're gonna get from this. Like this purchase that you just made, you're not gonna get the money you could." And it's hard at the beginning because there is this whole world that Jeff and everyone was like, no, people, if you put sponsorships in podcasts, there's money to be made there. And they balked at it until the entire industry did it. And they're like, oh, I guess we should do that.
Well, this is the issue you run into with corporate, right? Is they are violently afraid of rocking boats, right?
Right.
Like they're so violently afraid of rocking the boat, stuff going bad. And you know, this was a admittedly a new way to make money. You know, like it was admittedly a very new way to make money. That said, I you know, it I don't know, it just seems like running ads on a new type of content.
Well, so
It doesn't seem like
it's
like
funny
it doesn't
because
seem like wildly innovative.
no, not at all. And but again, so we've been in the time since the last week's show that we did, and now a number of like Nextlander did a podcast, Jeff did a podcast. People were talking about their experiences at Giantbomb. It was a bit of a time to reminisce for the old guard. And one of the things was like, there are people who like, I understand like not wanting to rock the boat if you're just trying to, but like the thing is Giantbomb was not making them a lot of money. Like their whole thing was they would buy them and it's like, we're going to try and figure out how to make money. And the stories that were told, it sounds like to me, like these people just thought they knew better about a space they knew nothing about. And so the people were telling them, here's how the website works. Here's how you can make some money. And they just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, they didn't give a shit because they thought it was like any other media property. That it was like it's like TV, it's like radio but on the internet, like it's like TV but on the internet. You know, it's like no, motherfucker.
But even so, like
this is its own thing.
Ads on podcasts, I feel like, man,
they do really well. Like I have heard crazy stories about not crazy for a business, but like you hear a podcast of like two people that does well, and you run ads. You're like. You're making thousands upon thousands of dollars. Yeah, it is consequential to say the least.
It is. And so and obviously there were other issues. They were on Nextlander, they were talking about how they eventually went to the other extreme and like encouraged them to be like, hey, you need to do personal ads and say that this product you don't like is the coolest shit. And
if I were them, I would say, no, fuck off.
Right.
Please do fuck all the way off.
Yeah. So it was, but that's the thing. Like it was rough. They were having a tough time with it. And so this situation with fandom provided the perfect opportunity of like, look, the people who support this website hate your guts. This site, even if that didn't happen, is not going to make the money you think you're going to get from this site. It's clear that you don't care. Like, just give it to us. And so obviously they didn't give it. It was Jeff and who else bought it? It was Jeff and
other Jeff
Bacalar.
It was Jeff. Yeah, Bacalar and Grubb bought it.
And the price is undisclosed. I think that'll be an interesting price point to learn down the line. But apparently we were able to swing it or swing alone.
Which, and I mean, like, Grubb even said part of the reason this happened is, you guys got really, really vocal about it.
Yep.
I got vocal multiple times on Blue Sky about it. I got pretty vocal on the Giantbomb forums about it.
Yeah.
In the thread that fandom put out.
Yes.
About official live stream pause and next steps. I went off on the dude who he's apparently a director at fandom.
Oh.
Posted that. I went off on that dude multiple times in that thread and got banned 3 times.
Yeah.
So, quite frankly, I'm surprised they kept unbanning me.
I was gonna say what. So I joined the Discord, and there's a forum there. It's like, did you get banned in that one thread? Here's how to fill out this form so you can be unbanned.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I got banned 3 times over the course.
Yeah. No.
I was going off on that dude. Like,
well, I mean,
was
right.
laying into him.
Yeah. Okay. Knowing that was a director of sorts and not like an intern. Like, okay, and I feel.
No, like, I
not-
looked him up. He's been in fandom for like over a decade. Like, he's a big name guy there.
Cool.
He is a fan guardian.
Oh man.
You know?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that feels good.
Now,
I love the way the fandom spun it though.
yes.
Like that made me laugh super hard. Their statement.
Yeah. If you want to read the statement, I have one thing I need to say, but it needs to be after the
go ahead.
statement.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All of this fandom sucks, but
They do.
they didn't have to do this.
They do not.
I think this is a smart decision for them business wise. But they didn't have to do this. They could have continued to haul out Giantbomb and turn it into a guides and SEO farming, operation. The thing would have died, but they could have still done that. And I will give them props for doing this because this needed to happen.
I think that it is partially because of the fact that there were multiple people, myself included, being like, hey, this is really cool browser add-on.
Well, right.
That makes it so you can completely ignore them.
Yep.
And people being like, I will never use a fandom wiki because of this. And
all right. No.
all this other shit. And just like, it was just way too much negative attention on a company that can't take any bit of negative attention.
I mean, yeah, it's they really painted themselves into a corner with this. Like this was going to end poorly, and they chose that in this situation they chose the best way out. So here you go. I'm still never using a fandom site ever again, but hey,
I mean, I'll uninstall that browser if I'm looking for something. Sure, why not?
I don't know.
That's as far as I'm gonna go.
Yeah, there are other sites, but good for Giantbomb. Happy for them. I hope they have the old guys on.
I do too. I hope that Dan was teasing about doing an anime thing with Jeff.
Yeah,
like Gersman, and I'm just like, all right. He was trying to get Gersman in on Hajime no Ippo.
Right.
And I'm just like, I do like me some Hajime no Ippo.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch Hajime no Ippo with them. So fandom's statement. Fandom has made the strategic decision to transition Giantbomb back to its independent roots, and the brand has been acquired by longtime staff and content creators Jeff Bakalar and Jeff Grubb, who will now own and operate the site independently. Fandom are at the core of everything we do at Fandom. We're committed to not only serving them, but also supporting the creators they love, and the sale of Giantbomb represents a natural extension of that mission. We're confident Giantbomb is in good hands, and its legacy will live on with Jeff and Jeff.
Okay, fine. Yeah, of all the outcomes.
I love the way they spun that.
Yep.
But like the lead up into this was so just weird. Like you had like multiple people being like go to the Giantbomb panel, which used to be the Blight Colored panel, and I'm just like what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Greg Miller retweets it with like dude eating popcorn.
Right.
And then fucking, like just multiple people retweet with dude eating popcorn. And I'm just like Greg Miller, Patrick Klepek. Patrick Klepek teases something on his podcast, and I'm like, fuck is happening?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's I think it's awesome. I
Yes,
really do think it's fucking awesome.
it's fantastic.
Um,
So I'm happy for those guys. I'm very curious. Oop, see, I knew I would do it.
need to what?
Oh, I switched back to the intro, so the music played again. You know, professional.
Oh,
It's a
great.
professional show. Professional.
Yep. Yep.
But hey, I'm happy for Giantbomb. That was a good choice by fandom to release them independently. And now it's up to us to support these creators if you
Yeah,
can.
this well, I was listening to I was I was listening to Greg Miller's Pack Storytime,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just like, he honestly does think, yeah, I think there is enough Patreon, Twitch money, etc. to go around. I think that I think it's just a matter of people are gonna find the audience they really like,
Mm-hmm.
and I also think that it's like, yeah, like people are gonna choose who they want to support, and I think that there are enough people watching this kind of content that want to see it happen, not under the jaws of a corporate owner,
Right.
which is why all these sites except for IGN are dying.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah. So we need to figure out a way to try and spread the love around and get these people supported. And
So what you do is you talk with your friends and you organize who buys what.
exactly. And you can start
Yeah.
with us. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Unless
here's our subscribe on Twitch, and if we keep going, we'll get the Patreon up and running with additional content. Thank
Nah,
you for understanding.
don't give that money to Twitch. Listen to our podcast. That's where.
Yeah, yeah. You want to talk about, go on the RSS feed or the YouTube, please.
So yeah. Anyway, next news story. This one